Hello, you. Seymour here with your weekly update, and I'm very excited this week. This long journey. If you've ever developed a product before, you'll be familiar with this. It's like long, and then suddenly things start to move very quickly. And this week I've got four of the six 3D engineering models in for final comments from us. And the great news is we don't really have any comments on them. There's one tiny tweak to be made, but it's a nothing. It's a kind of an hour or two's work. So we're really thrilled. If you would like to see them, I'd love to show them to you right now. Just a quick caveat: if you've been with us for a while, you've heard this before. What I'm going to show you are engineering 3D diagrams. So they don't look great. The thing that the products that we will ship to you will be, of course, this beautiful glossy white that you've seen me demo a few times before, with all lovely reflections and everything all around here. What we're going to look at now is the engineering models that are used to make the molds and the tools and so on in order to produce something as beautiful as that. So the engineering diagrams themselves are kind of funky looking, but it's still very interesting to see. So just ignore all of the colors. What you get in your hand is going to be the beautiful white or the gorgeous forest green. Right now you're going to see all kinds of colors. And let's go to the first one here. And this is MAGFAST Extreme. We used to call it MAGFAST Life Extreme. MAGFAST Extreme. It's the same name for the product. It's evolved, as you know, over time. Let's take a little look. And the first thing is, you see it goes to that funny shape. That's another part of the engineering thing. The engineers work with this funny perspective, but I can't handle it. So I always click on here, which makes it look the same way that your eyes do. So now it looks like a normal object. And it's a funny thing to look at on screen. The single change that is necessary, and it's, as I say, it's a tiny one, is that now that the magnets have come in here, again, the magnets will not have an S on them. Okay, this is for the engineers to know that this is a South Pole magnet, or the south side of the magnet here. Right, other end, just my luck. Yeah, they've all got ends on them, you see? Okay, so we're at the south end. And this is the cap here for the, I'll just break it out quickly for you. This is the cap for the 12-volt outlet. Oops. Can we turn it on the screen here using, as you know, I'm a bit amateur with my skills here. I think using this, we can turn it around. Yeah. So this guy here is the only piece that we've worked on since getting this in, because I feel it's going to feel a little harsh in your hand. Some of these edges, I know you'll only pull it. Many folks who receive this will never ever take this cap out, but we're all about the details. So we're just smoothing off some of these edges and tweaking the shape ever so slightly on it. But because of the magnets here, the scoops to help to get the cap out used to go up here, but they can't now because of the magnets. So instead, we're actually going to have a slightly larger, more beautiful scoop on this end, and just a curve on the end there. And that's the only change to Extreme. I was really worried when it came in. There was this. They sent a PowerPoint presentation saying, "Here are our recommended changes to Extreme," and I'm like, "Oh God, I can't take this any longer." And when I looked at it, they were just simply recommending this slight change in the scoops. Just for fun, let's take the lid off. If I highlight this piece here, okay. And using this clever thing, I make it transparent. You can now see the positions of your three world's first, we believe world's first, power bank with 3 Qi wireless charging coils. Look at them there. And I'll just point out a couple of the other things that we can see when we look in here. Let me bring it in a little closer. Zoom it in. Okay. So you can see the kind of under the hood construction. There's your magnets and so on. There's one of the magnets on the end there. Oops, there's another one there. Here is what's called the light pipe along here, this blue thing. It transmits the light from the LEDs that are on the board. Look to the little tippy tips of each of these little pipes here. What else to point out? Oh, this guy inside has been the thing that's probably, if I just completely remove that edge, this guy here, it's a little difficult to see in there. The battery has been, maybe if I hide this, hang on, has been one of the most challenging things. Here's the little panels that stick onto the battery and sort of attach and separate it from the next part. Do you see? I just removed a board from underneath the coil. This will be attached to the board. The board goes in here. I just removed it, and then this is the sticky panel for assembly that holds it all together. But getting a battery that is super safe is important. In fact, let's talk about that for a second. If you go out into the market and you go searching for these kinds of power banks that can jumpstart cars, a lot of them say huge amperages, and they're like, yeah, you know, kind of 1,000 amps or 900 amps. And it's one of these things where the superficial statistics look really good. Turns out in practice, you only get that for a fraction of a second. And furthermore, the battery chemistry that's required to be able to make that claim isn't so good. So the battery work doesn't last as long. It's not significantly better at starting a car in the first place. But after, so we've aimed to source a battery that may not be like have such sexy statistics that we can, shout about in marketing, but that will just be a workhorse for years and years to come. And some of these seemingly more powerful batteries also have a problem, which is that with age, they can start to bulge and expand as the chemistry ages, which of course is a safety concern. So we've gone for the very kind of top tier, safest battery that we can get, that it's possible to source, and we feel really, really good about it. So that's extreme. You want to see one more? Let's do one more now, and I'll do some more for you next week. I also want to talk about the cables, because a lot of work on cables recently. Let's go to air, and again, look, it looks crazy, doesn't it? If I don't, let me click it into normal kind of human perspective. There we go. And air, I'm so proud of this little guy. You remember me showing you the physical model a few months ago and telling you that I was disappointed with the strength of the magnets, and we've completely redeveloped, if you've been watching us over the weeks, redeveloped the magnet system now. Here it is. All right. Oh, I should say what I should just point out about this. This air here, we've got two stands. We've got one mounted on the back, look, and one mounted underneath. You, of course, will be getting it with one stand. But for this model, just to make it easier to talk about and show how everything fits together, it's a single stand. So here it is. Let me just remind you that round the back, let me just go here and let's zoom in. Round the back, we're giving you both inputs, the old micro USB, because you've already got lots of those cables lying around your house. There's no point in shipping you another cable. You've got dozens of them shoved into drawers. So we don't want to waste the option to use those, even though USB-C, which is this guy here, you've heard me say many times before, is a way better connection. So we're supporting both. You'll be used to whichever cable you've got, you'll be able to plug it in there. And we're not going to ship yet another cable that's going to wind up in landfill. If you need a cable, get in touch and we'll help you out. But that's the setup there. This action here, remember, all of this is beautiful glossy white. Okay, these joins, they become almost invisible in manufacturing. But for engineering purposes, they're all shown here. And there's the LED light at the front. Again, it has a light pipe. You want to see inside real quick? Should we take the cover off? Okay, let's hide the cover. Boom, and you start to see all of the different things that are going on inside. The main event, of course, being this is a kind of rubbery textured surface on the front here to give you a little bit of grip when you put the phone on. And if I just hide that for you. Then there's another plate on there. Let me hide that for you. And there's another plate there. Boom, and here we are. Here's the dual coil. Why do we have the dual coil? The answer is because you may want to put your phone on horizontally. I'm just kind of drawing the edge of your phone when it's on horizontally, in which case the center of gravity, the center of charging is going to be lower, so you're going to want energy more from this lower coil here. When you stand it up, you're going to want it from the higher one, and the two coils work together to make sure that provided you center your phone, provided you hit the center line here, vertically or horizontally, you'll get a beautiful charge. Okay, see these guys here, these little magnets here. Those are the ones that hold the back on. So they're slightly softer to hold the back on when it's not in use. And then these much stronger ones down the bottom here. Just as a reminder, these ones on the magnet system on the back is in case you want to attach one of our power banks on the back. All right, and then we have so you can have a power bank on the back. You can have cable in the back, either the old or the new cable type. And then on the bottom, you can either have the stand that comes with, or you can remove this, which will take me a while to do. Maybe I can just remove the main here. If I remove the main parts of it here, can you see where we are now? The magnets, you can still see the magnets are in there, but if you take the whole of the bottom off, then, whoopsie, hang on, let's just do, very difficult to control these things. Yeah, if you take the stand off of the bottom, on the bottom there is also the magnet and connection system, and you can snap it straight on top of MAGFAST wall, which is of course the one that looks like a wall outlet and plugs into your wall. So I hope that's given you a little bit of insight. I've got some more models coming down the pike. It won't take too much of your time, but we'll show you a couple more next week. And as I say, I'm really kind of excited with the way these files are coming back. If you know me a little bit by now, you know I'm really, really fussy about this. Part of the, if you remember back to the original presentation you saw about MAGFAST, we said, look, it's kind of a junky industry. We have a chance to do something way, way, way better, to make something really beautiful, really careful, really thoughtful. And despite a lot of pressure all the time, when are you shipping, when are you shipping, when are you shipping? And the answer is, as soon as we've got this perfect, then we can make the tools and we can make them and we can ship. And we're really, really close now. But these little details that we're fussing about here, these are the things designed so that 3 years from now, 4 years from now, when most of the products that you've bought in the meantime just turned out not to be so great and they're in landfill, or they're around your house but they're kind of junking it up and disappointed, these are going to be the products, even including their packaging, these are going to be the products that you're going to say, oh my God, that ugly English guy with all the old grey hair talking all that nonsense. Really glad we went with him, because we've got, and the team of course, because we're putting our hearts and souls into just getting that. We just want, I showed you that little plug earlier on in this presentation. We want that when you hold the little plug in your hand, it feels good in your hand, instead of feeling like that kind of rough edge, like nobody cared about this little part. We want every part of it to just feel amazing in your hands. All right, that's it for now. I'll do a couple of other models for you next week, so stand by for that. See you next week.